price of gasoline. But, Mr. President, perhaps the most disturbing thing about the misinformation campaign to sell the Bush-McCain plan to open up all our oceans to drilling is that they refuse to discuss how drilling will be economically and ecologically devastating to our coasts. On June 3rd of 1979, an exploratory oil well in the Gulf of Mexico blew out. The resulting 140 million gallon spill was the second largest in world history, over 10 times larger than the Exxon Valdez spill. As you can see from this map, the spill traveled 600 miles to blanket the coast of Mexico, Texas, and Louisiana, causing tremendous damage. And I think we all remember that on March 24th of 1989, the tanker Exxon Valdez ran aground in Prince William Sound, Alaska. The oil tanker ruptured and spilled over 10 million gallons of oil. The result was an oil spill over 600 miles that created one of the largest environmental disasters in history, and we were told that we had the state-of-the-art technology then in terms of carriers, tankers, and everything else. Well, 600 miles of devastation. I'm about to show images of the devastation following the spill, and certainly I would ask if there are any children watching or those who are sensitive to the plight of animals, they should probably look away from some of the images. The Exxon Valdez coated the Alaska shoreline, turning a pristine environment into a toxic waste cleanup site. Over 11,000 people worked to try to clean oil washed up on shore, but even today there is estimated to still be over 20,000 gallons of oil on Alaska's sandy beaches. The spill killed thousands of animals immediately. It killed hundreds of otters and seals, as many as 500,000 seabirds, and over 200 of the very symbol of America itself, the bald eagle. Anyone who saw these devastating images from this incident cannot forget them. What is important to remember from these disturbing images is that if we open up the East and West Coast to drilling, the same thing could happen to places here in the lower 48. My colleagues from the Commonwealth of Virginia want to open the coast of Virginia to drilling. They seem to think that oil drilling in Virginia waters will only affect the state of Virginia. But oil spills do not sit still. Remember that oil drilling spill in the Gulf that traveled 600 miles? And the Exxon Valdez spill off the coast of Alaska, over 600 miles wide? So what would a similar spill look like on the East Coast? It would mean a devastated coastline from New York down to South Carolina. The environmental impact would be immeasurable, and the economic impact would be enormous. The New Jersey shore is a priceless treasure my home state will protect at any cost. But the shore also generates tens of billions of dollars in revenues each year and supports almost 500,000 jobs. In South Carolina, Myrtle Beach alone brought in $3 billion in revenue. Do we really want oil washing up onto Virginia Beach, flowing up into the Chesapeake Bay? Can Maryland's famous blue crab survive such an environmental assault? It is time for a real cure based on a tough examination and reordering of our energy priorities, and not the tired old policies of the past. I ask my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to end their efforts to block real reform. It's time we unite together to pass the Consumer First Energy Act to clamp down on excessive speculation and finally burst this oil bubble. It's time we come together and pass the renewable energy tax extensions bills that will promote the development of clean energy here at home, help our automakers develop cars that run on electricity, and develop advanced biofuels so we have a sustainable alternative to gasoline. If we do not do this, we are continuously wedded to the past, continuously wedded to the addiction, continuously wedded to a failed policy. You know, to hear our colleagues on the other side of the aisle, you open up the East or West Coast and it goes directly like gas into your car. We know that's not true. That's just simply not going to happen. The American people are sick and tired of an energy policy written by big oil. It's time for our friends on the other side of the aisle to join us in real reform so that we can actually achieve something that moves us in a much different direction. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.